The cars have been tested, the liveries have been made, everyone is on track getting fired up. It is Division 4 SRA Season 5 opener here at Suzuka. With me on the desk again, Bailey Kish, Austin Sawyer. How are you both doing?
Oh, I'm so happy to be back with the boys, back with SRA. And Austin, how are you feeling?
Dude, we're doing great. We got our new photos upgraded. We're vibing. We
Yes.
got some gentlemen's and a questionable scholar.
Nope. All three gentlemen. All three gentlemen. Gonna be dirty.
Questionable scholar, as we do have some rule updates, but first let's just kind of dive into the high overtaking areas. Try to get that out of the way, Austin. You want to head that up?
Yeah, we'll start it off. Turn one's pretty good. You can go side by side, get those elbows out. You're not really gonna have a chance after that into the S's. They're getting pretty dicey. We saw that in the practice server, or the practice race. And not too much dicey stuff until the hairpin. I know I messed that up like 1 out of 5 times, so I think we're gonna see a nice run coming out of that. Into spoon, definitely another high overtaking zone with people just kind of messing up, going wide. Then just sending it through 130R. And then obviously your pit exit, making sure you have a nice clean riding those curbs on that last chicane, the double curb riding. So pretty much everywhere except for the S's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Suzuka's very good at that. We'll just go into qualifying now as we are watching Dooch in our main cam. New driver for Ghost Rider Racing. Not so astonishing in the Aston Martin, but a few rule updates have been in place. We won't hit those too hard. We do have 6 divisions now instead of the 4 from last year, or season, sorry. We also are trying something new with the pit window, and we're going to be going on Austin probably a lot more than usual. 40-minute pit window in between the race now. What do you think about that, Bailey?
It's gonna bring some spice into the race, a lot more than the original pit window of, what was it, 15 minutes? 10 minutes? I can't remember. 10 minutes? It was so long ago, I can't even remember now. We're going to see a lot of people pit at that 10-minute mark, or the 50-minute mark, shall we say. Could see a lot of people going towards the end of the pit window. It's just going to be about trying to get into that open track, trying not to get stuck behind those slower cars, especially if you're towards the front, looking for a race win. Probably still want to wait it out. I mean, your tire substitutions probably won't be any different than it is with the 10-minute pit window. I mean, we may see some different, and then fuel definitely will play a factor. I have seen several people in chat say that they are probably going to be doing half and half, as they are struggling with the full fuel loader on this track. They're not able to flick it through. I mean, we were here a couple weeks ago. It was round 7 of season 4, but very wet. So totally different strategy going into this race than that one.
Yeah, the sun's finally out in the land of the rising sun here. And hopefully I kind of want to do next lap Zooch goes on, because she is absolutely flying out there. I want you to do a track run through if you'd like.
With who? You choose.
Zooch.
All right, Zooch. We'll go on board with Moira Zooch here.
You
If I
want to start
can
next lap?
get there. Yeah, we'll get there. But
I do
ahead,
want
Tilly.
to touch one thing here. If anyone noticed, you see the time dwindling down a little bit faster than normal. That's because we only have 20 minutes in qualifying now. Qualifying now shortened 10 minutes for your silver first off, and then 10 minutes for your gold second after the silvers. So saying that fast qualifying lap is now more important than ever. A lot more risk. So the second you mess up one, you could be messing up your entire qualifying session, as I did in the practice race last night.
The bankers are gonna matter.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
I had this conversation with the new SRA podcast. Go ahead and check that out on YouTube. Quick little plug. We had a strategic conversation about the new qualifying. I don't know about you boys, but I started finding towards the end of the season, I would do like 2-3 laps and then go in, get new tires, go out and have fuel, and go again. I don't know if you guys would go for the full time or what.
I definitely did the half fuel thing. I started realizing it was a little bit more valuable, but now you can't really do that. You have to go on. And speaking of going on, Zuch is about to start her flying lap if you want to take that over.
Sure can. So this track is very crucial to get that last corner right, going on to the start of the lap, as it is the longest, I guess second longest straight if you count the back straight going on 130R. Hit that side road braking point, go down to second into this corner, hit a shallow apex, and then get on the gas as early as you can. Ride that sausage curve there. It's not really sausage. You want to take as much as curve as possible in here. She's a little on the safer side, but that's okay. Want to be smooth through here. Make sure you get all your apexes, as you will lose time if you kind of miss them, which she does very well in here. And then another tough corner on this track is this off camber left-hander. Want to hit that well, and then gas it all the way up to this double right-hander. Drop it down a gear or two, depending on how comfortable you are. Hit this curb, hit another right-hander here. Make sure you get a lot of that curb, a lot of curb on the exit as well. Make sure you get a good exit. Here is another tough braking point. Austin said earlier, very common overtaking area. Hit it right there as the rubber track shows. Hit that nice apex. Get on the gas as quick as you can, as this is a somewhat lengthy straight. Not much of a straight, but it's a long right-hander to where you could overtake depending on if you have a bad or good exit. So a lot to watch here as well. As we come down into Spoon, hit that braking point on the rubber section again. Get on that curb, very good. Hit that late apex, get on the corner, does very well. This, I don't know about you, but she's on a steaming lap right now.
Yeah, she's flying.
This is a really good lap. But make your way down to 130R, one of the most famous corners in motor racing. Some cars take this flat, see what she does. Drops it down to fifth, very good through there. Hit your braking point here. Get both curbs, as Austin said earlier. A little safe there, but that's okay. She takes a lot of that one, so sets herself up well for a good lap here. She is improving by a little under 5/10. Had a rough exit, but that's okay. A 5/10 improvement everybody will take.
Yeah, then she was up 6/10 going into that chicane, but still keeps a P1 of 2-minute 01.8, and I believe that will be the end of her qualifying. She's probably out of fuel now. So,
Probably, yeah. She nailed it.
Yeah, good on Zuch. And speaking of who's going fast right now, Suzuka is a 2.2 up on his or their time. Looking to challenge pole position here. Also, are you seeing anything else? I do see a lot of people in the green right now. Are we seeing anyone else that is going fast?
Yeah, something to note is it hit optimum just now. It started fast, so we're looking at green all over. Unless you mess up. Something I'm not looking forward to, going out of silver, where it's not an ideal track.
Can't relate, Pogs.
Oh, come on.
You can see in the background of Suzuka there for a second, the Gold's lining up. Get their track time in 15 seconds. Suzuka puts it P2 of 202 flat, just about almost a 1/10.5 off of Zuch, who will still hold that pole position going into the gold qualifying. Anyone who crosses the line now is done and dusted with their qualifying. Gold division is out on track now. So this is the final flying lap for all the silvers, and Air is on an absolute scorcher here, challenging Zuch for pole position in terms of silver. Went a little deep there in Spoon, lost 3/10, so he's trying to hold it back. Gained it all back on the exit. It was a very good turn. I might have just been blind. 9/10 up. Air is coming down to.
And looking down the order, Fonseca is also up 8.5 tenths. Looking to improve up to potentially P9, P10.
Air really needs to nail this chicane. Goes on the middle of the track, not opting for that very wide line. Still holds it though. Great time gained from there. Is about a second up. We'll put it pole position for silver and provisional pole for the race. With a 2-minute 1.6.
Very good lap.
Very good lap indeed for the silver. Fade on a fast lap coming here, finishing out their lap in the green. Nothing to get pole, but should put them up in P5 minimum.
And Fonseca coming around the last corner here, almost a second up on their time as well. Gonna be Fonseca comes in P10.
Wow.
Very good improvement.
Very, very good. Pivots. Not doing so. Finish their lap, and we're on to the golds now. In your top 5 for your silver, Air, Zooch, Scusa, Fade, and Shepard. Shepard we saw last season. Wasn't a GTR, now in a Ferrari. Car switch.
Big change coming from the GTR.
He was fast in the GTR too.
He was, yeah. Very competitive.
Now he's in an even more competitive car, so should see them up in the top pretty often as we are riding on board with that at. First one of the gold drivers to get a hot lap in has all the track to themselves. Should be able to at least warm up their tires for their next lap. So Austin, it's been a lengthy off season compared to last off season we had from season 3 to season 4. What have you been doing?
Dude, I'm washed. I just started practicing.
Just started.
I will say, shout out to P1 through 3 with the Astons. It's definitely a W for the program with a more stable mentality going into the season.
I didn't even realize top 3 was all Astons.
I didn't either. That was very good observation.
Yes.
Aston is love. Aston is life. Stable. That's what we need right now.
A little less quivering in your boots now.
Friendship has ended for the Honda.
Yeah, a little less VTEC, it looks like.
Dude, shout out to Dockendorf, though, rocking the Honda. Cameron, respect you guys. Couldn't be me.
There's a decent amount of Hondas in D2, I will say.
Yeah, it's definitely OP if you can handle it.
Very slidey.
Yeah.
It's like the Audi without a setup, essentially.
Yeah. It requires you to be good. It's weird.
True.
True. Can't relate.
Skill diff.
That rounding out 130R for their first flying lap. Going into the final chicane. Gonna be taking all that curb in the Ferrari.
One thing we shall mention though is with this being the first race of the season, the qualification all the way through SRA D1 to 6, each division is very close in lap times, and it's gonna be an interesting season. Race 1 is just it's not gonna show a lot, but it's gonna show who's been practicing, who's been putting in the work. A lot of new guys in this league too, so we're going to want to see who's going to come in, who's going to make their mark, who's going to put their name at the top of the table.
Speaking of top of the table, Sadet puts their name at the top of the table. Provisional pole 201.5, just a 10th off of Air in the silver division. And if it stays like that, if that's how close gold and silver is going to be, that's going to be insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw in the hot stint for Paul Ricard, 75% of all of D4 is running a 57 for their hot stint.
Wow.
So we're gonna have some close racing.
Yes.
Yes, it's kind of gonna be insane. I've been practicing this track, trying to read off the leaderboards, but you can't really base it off of your hot lap or your hot stint on there. It's never really written in stone until you come to track that first day. And you get on qualifying or you get on the practice race and see where you're finally at. Of course, if you get hit off, then you don't really have an answer. But as much data as you can collect, Ruzik is collecting all the time he can get 5/10 up on their current lap. Ruzik, a returning player, D4. I'm in a Ferrari, though.
He was VTEC, right?
I think so.
Yes, he was.
VTEC Anonymous Club. I'm starting it. DM me.
We're recovering. Austin Sawyer.
We're recovering.
It's how much the VTEC hurt. Decided to go to a Ferrari. You know what really hurt if they decided to choose a BMW, but I digress. Ruzik's rounding out the final turn, 6/10 up on their time should put it pretty high up there. Nothing to combat that. P3 for him. So that actually went faster and now has a 201.05 tenths off of there.
Wow. That's
And
concerning.
Is only improving right now.
Well, he needs to slow down a bit, or he's going to get himself in trouble.
Plan E Racing couldn't be happier right now. I know one team that couldn't be happier with their driver in P5 right now. Ghost Ride.
Oh, cough.
Oh, sorry. The Bendy Brew Ghost Rider car.
Yep. Can't forget the big bendy brew there on the front hood. It's all over the car.
Literally
Wait, what's
all
a
over.
bendy brew?
Oh, bendy brew.
Here we go.
Don't get me started. Bendy Brew is the biggest sponsor in SRA, non-sponsor in SRA.
Bendy Brew is Ghost Rider
bendybrew.com.
sponsored. Check it out for yourself. Non-ad advertising for Ghost Rider.
Love it. We love it. We love it.
I got my eyes on Anastasi. He set a banger of a lap on the hot lap. He invalidated on this one. He's coming around for another lap right now.
Keep your eye on him as we're keeping an eye on Sadat. 2 tenths up on their time. About to break into the 2-minute flats. Speed and P9 currently also flying 7 tenths up on their time. We're not looking at them.
Speaking of liveries, look at all these nice Christmas and holiday
I
and
know.
Halloween and just amazing.
They're really good.
Yeah, if you look in your picture-in-picture, we have the Halloween Ghost Rider Racing one with every team's...
Bendy Brew.
Bendy Brew Ghost Rider Racing.
Can we get a bendy brew count in
If
the
it-
chat?
If you get
Yeah.
if you get a good look at the side of the car, you can realize that there's some tombstones on there. The tombstones may say a few team names in SRA.
We're not biased at all.
No,
Yeah,
we are
we're
not.
Totally not throwing.
Who's throwing shit? Not me.
Said that didn't improve their time last lap. Was on a flyer. We'll try it again. We were watching Anastasia. And
And
You got this. You got this.
I can
By the way,
speak.
if we butcher your name, just let us know.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
Yep.
please just
At a
DM
time.
us.
just
We'll
let us
be
know.
here all season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're stuck
exactly.
with us.
Unless someone decides to leave, you know,
Yeah, we're fired
or fired.
because of
yeah.
too many promotions.
Too much Bendy Brew promotion.
Yeah.
A minute
Yeah,
left.
Salzay's a good exit. Oh, scrubbed a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's looking good. It's looking good. I think we got time. We got time.
Oh, we're watching the same person.
He's got another one.
6:10 still up on the board. 40 seconds left. They should have another lap after this, but anyone who just started one is not going to finish one, so they're on hot lap season right now, as that's an invalid lap for
You got this.
invalid lap
Yeah.
for Matt.
Oh, that's
forgot.
so sad.
They will try again for another hot
one.
lap. It doesn't look like anyone else is really improving other than Dockendorf. 6 tenths up on their time. They hold this, should put them about P.
We got a good little mix of gold and silver at the top. Like it.
We do, as qualifying has ended. So if you cross that finish line, your qualifying is done. Last car to go around, it looks to be car number 628. That.
Great question.
Oh yeah.
Anastasi.
Anastasi. My brain
Oh.
has to process looking at the thing. Oh, I'm sorry for butchering your name. Dockendorf rounding out 130R. Setting their time 4 tenths up on their time now. Nothing to really sneeze at. Not going to break into the top 10 here unless they can make up a ton of time here in the chicane. And it looks like they are doing so. Can they get a clean enough exit? No, they cannot. Actually, an abysmal exit. Shedding off a 10th and then some right now. Coming down to the finish line. Will finish across the line in P12. 2.3, and your pole position currently is 201.0, and the only person that can stop them is Matt here.
Look at this guy. Gets to have 2 cameras on him.
2 cameras, and while they're going around the lap, we didn't really talk too much on pit strategy, as we'll get more into that as we go around the track for their warm-up lap. We also will talk about the schedule a little bit.
Yes.
Coming into the final chicane here, can they get a good enough exit? Fire.
Decent. It's a
It's a
decent
decent
lap.
exit, not bleeding a ton of time, and still up on their time. We'll put
Curse.
that car P4.
There we go.
Very good lap.
Starting top 5. Good job, everyone. And wow.
2/10, 2 to 7.
Indeed.
Tight.
While everyone gets ready to go, revved up, ready to go, we're going to be looking at the schedule here. So if you go to your screens, you can see that we will be having an 8-week season again, starting off with Suzuka, obviously, here. Then we're going to be moving on to the Nürburgring night race. We'll have all for a week. Come back, do Indianapolis in the day. Then we get Misano in the rain for week 4. And Snetterton in the day. Then we'll have a 2-week off vacation, enough time to practice for that dreaded Barcelona wet session. Then we come back again next week for Laguna Seca, and then Kalami in the night to finish it all off. And if you see on the left side of your screen, with our weekly events, Monday we get a practice race, Tuesday we get these races that you're watching, Wednesday we'll have D2, D3, D6, Thursday we have coaches nights, Fridays we have multi-class mayhem, and Sundays we will have an expedition race. And of course we have special events here and there. You can read on the right side of your screen. And if any of this sounds appeasing to you and you want to race alongside others, build friendships, be a part of the biggest ACC NA region league, go join us, simracingalliance.com. Figure out how to join the Discord, get chatting. We're all pretty friendly here. We don't really bite that much.
Join the Dadmans. Shameless plugs over.
Shameless.
All right, we're good.
Yes,
We just got to get it out of our system.
we do.
I know,
We have
sorry,
to
guys.
have
You
to
know?
plug. You know, yeah, I'm required to do so. Oh yeah, I'll partnered with
You got this.
someone
Got
else
it.
say it.
Armamentario.
Thank you.
Armamentario. There you go.
I'm
I got
bad
your
with
back.
words, everyone.
Yeah.
But we didn't touch on strategy all that much, because with this race we're testing a 40-minute pit window, and we'll test the same thing at Snetterton as well in week 5. Austin, what do you think the
20 seconds.
kind of strategies that are going to come into this?
It's kind of a toss up. I haven't really done a race like this with this huge window. I know a lot of other leagues do it. That just gives a lot of different strategies. You know, you could do a very light fuel load just to get away from everyone and go long as you can, and find some air, then pit, fuel up, light work, splash and dash just to save some time. Go in avoiding traffic, stay out avoiding traffic. But we got a packed grid. We're gonna see how it shakes out. I think there's gonna be multiple strategies that are acceptable, good.
I don't believe the strategy will stray really far away from the need to refuel and new tires kind of thing. I think everyone will kind of stay on that train. I'm seeing a lot more of picking who you're going to pit with, so you're not constantly battling throughout the race or trying to get out of traffic. But if you get out of traffic, pit early, make sure you can, you know, come back in and not deal with the outlap traffic. There's a lot to play for, especially if you're at the front. I know last season it was pretty much go till the end if you can. You're at front, you'll have the biggest gap behind you, but that might play a difference this season. Drivers getting their tires and brakes warmed up. We have a driver starting from the pit, driver number 32. Don't believe we had a penalty.
It drive.
Maybe just
Bummer.
got to hit drive. I don't think I can pronounce that name. At the bottom of your screen, left-hand side, if you can't see. We do have an hour race here at Suzuka. Blistering hot, 35 degrees Celsius on track, and it's only going to get hotter since we're midday. We should see that go up maybe about a degree Or so. Actually, the first time I'm seeing 0 wind here around this track, so stable race conditions for the boys and girls on track right now.
Now, I did notice Jitesh is starting from pits. I don't know if that's intentional or he just forgot to press drive.
We did say that.
Sorry, I was not here. I had to pee.
Now I understand. You're too busy selling Ben Ubers.
Yep, my bad.
Too much coffee. Too much coffee.
I did just finish one.
What?
Okay, the MVC.
I need all the energy.
MVC with this Bailey guy here, down 12 cups of coffee one night. You say he had a resting heartbeat of 147. So he was gonna go to the hospital.
Oh, we're good.
Don't drink that much coffee.
I live off of adrenaline. That's why I race SRA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Still don't drink that much coffee. You're gonna make your heart explode.
it's okay.
Coming down 130R, and let me just say the absolute line on track that is filling up Spoon right now is scary.
We're here for it, though.
We are here for it. If turn 1 is anything like last night, it is going to be organized chaos, bumping and pushing, trying to get in those positions right off the bat, but trying to keep each other alive still. Best thing you can do here, be predictable going into the turn. We're starting to go side by side, it looks like.
Yep, everybody's cooking it down into 130R.
Final
Here they
chance
come.
to get those brakes warmed up, those tires warmed up. Everyone's slowing down here. Your
Not
main
everybody.
Mostly. Main
Yeah.
screen will show the front of the pack. Your picture-in-picture will try to get most of the back of the pack, probably where all the accidents will happen. But we will try to get anything. And of course, if we can't get anything, we have Austin Sawyer to fall back on.
The goat.
Go.
Yeah. I'll be watching from the back.
Yeah.
Just like our race tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Yikes.
Now you'll be up.
We'll see.
board with
We'll see.
Boonstra in the back here. I don't know who you got up there.
We are on Matt in front, right behind them. Scott Smith right behind them. And Zooch in the inside lane. We are about to go green, and it is green. Good takeoff from Sadat. Is able to hold that inside line from Air, but Air is powering forward, trying to get as much space. Air will just slide in, leaves the door open wide for Speed. Speed not able to stick the move going through, so is going to try to hold this inside still, defending from Ruzik here. Coming through the back, Scott Smith trying to overtake Ruzik, not going to be able to do so. Scott Smith will just slide back in line. Zooch making up a position, getting right
we got
behind
chaos.
Smith.
Chaos.
Too wide, still Fade and Carba side by side through the S's. Still side by side is Cameron and Molly in the back going up the left tail. There is contact. That is Cameron off into the sand. Incident number 1, at least from my eyes.
I think that could have been way worse. That actually
I
was pretty
agree.
Very
solid.
could have been.
Turn
job,
1 was
guys.
very, very clean.
Yeah, good job to all the D4 drivers. Everyone's just kind of slotting in now. Not much happening. We go down into the hairpin. No one taking that risky dive just yet. No one really messing up the turn. We are just trying to
G-Tesh
stay on here.
enters the chat.
And Miller back from the grave after winning D4 silver. Boonstra getting a clean exit. Formigal going side by side with Santer out of the hairpin is able to complete the overtake. Santer will just have to slot in behind.
Ken Miller, I don't know if he was sandbagging and qualifying or what, but he started in like 35th.
Yeah, he's back there.
He's already up to 24th.
He was back there. Good on him to get moving. There is starting to form a gap between Ruzik and Matt and your P4 driver. That gap closes rapidly as we go into the chicane. Nothing really happening in the front. Everyone's staying inside. In line here, we watch the 2 Ghost Riders go down the pit straight together.
Love to see it.
No one poking their nose out. Matt poking their nose out on Speeds. Going down on the inside in turn 1, not going to do it. Pulls out, lets speed go through.
Oh, and somebody is spun.
There is a car idle on the front stretch. Brown spun out of the last turn. You see a replay in your picture-in-picture, just catching too much grass on that exit. Kind of forced to let everyone by here. Base Baker going side by side with Shepard now. Is holding that inside line rather well. Is able to hold off the position at least once. There is a gingerbread car off in the grass. Holmes trying to hold it out now. Not going to be able to hold position to Brown. Is going to be able to hold position to Shepard. They will go single file now through the S's. No one else deciding to make a dive in the back yet. Up to the hairpin. Oh, relatively tame right now.
It is. It's actually been a very clean start. Outside of a couple of little bumps.
Good job. Good job, everyone.
No one's died. No one's died. It's
no
good.
one has died. Person G-Test who started from the pit lane is back at the end of the line now. So they are fighting for positions once again. Bad exit from Matt. Ruzick might let the door open here. Ferrari on Aston Martin, power down into 130R. Will Ruzick stick their nose out? Doesn't look like it. Will just stay back in line. Mac taking that slipstream from Speed. Speed taking a lot of curb on the inside. Actually messes up the line on the outside exit. Matt going all around the outside. Speed is able to hold that inside line in. Matt trying to get the switch back down. Not going to be able to do so. We'll try to outpower him down the pit straight now, as Speed has lost that slipstream potential. The Matt should be all over this car, closing the gap as we are side by side. Air and Sadat. Air down on the inside. There is contact between the two front runners, both of them spinning out into the grass and sand. Air trying to get the best out of this, just trying to rejoin safely. Not going to be able to do so. Lots of cars going to be able to overtake, and your leader is now Speed. Just like that, the race can crumble away.
We talked so highly of everybody.
Wait,
And then-
is that how the cookie crumbles?
Oh.
Oh.
If it was one of the gingerbread
Oh.
cars,
I wish. Should have saved that one.
Should have, as Matt looking all over the back of Speed right now, really wants by, feels faster than him. Trying to get by, not able to do so, is going to have to end up pulling off here into the hairpin unless they try to make a very ballsy dive here. Not going to do so. Does look up the inside just in case they dive deep. Not going to do so. So we'll just slot right back in. I don't follow the other cars except for Suzuka making the dive on Zuch and is able to get it done. Zuch all over the back of Suzuka now, coming back down into Spoon. Trying to get the blocks down, is able to do it. Suzuka holding off Zuch all the way down to the Spoon straight. Zuch puking out, but not going to be able to do so. We'll slot right back in. Maybe look at 130R. Good racing.
There is a lot of close battles going on right now, all the way up and down the field.
No one. Pit window will open in 4 minutes though, so we will see some people probably try to get out of these battles here. Speed. Trying to fend
Cameron
off this
Robichaud
position.
probably going to go side by side through 130R here. Let's see. Kind of scary. Let's see what happens.
Are going side by side, but it looks like one pulls out.
Yep. Robichaud has pulled out for safety. Respectfully.
We are only 6 minutes into the.
We are.
As Matt looking down the inside, not going to be able to do it. Just a little fake out for Speed. We'll have to go around.
Oh, we've had an accident.
Bad accident.
Oh,
Oh!
it's getting worse. It's getting worse.
Hey, there's your
It is
cookie
getting
crumbles
worse.
joke.
I'm gonna go back here, going into 130R. Let's see what happens. I believe it's him and Recton, the car behind.
Not his gumdrop buttons. There it is.
Not the gumdrop buttons.
I couldn't say it like
I'll send him here for
that. I'll
comedic
let you
relief.
know. I'll let you know.
Oh,
Much
Bickham just
curb.
got a little.
Oh,
Oof.
unlucky.
There was actually another accident behind him. Is what the issue was. Was what I originally saw. Bickham just kind of did it to himself as he comes crawling into the pits. Couldn't just do a lap and a half more.
Yeah,
Would have been.
one more lap would have been in pit window.
Yep.
Maybe they
It's
didn't read up on the
unfortunate.
rules. Maybe they think it's still a minutes.
Potentially.
We
Or it was
digress.
just undrivable. Could have been.
Yo, shout out to the chat. We got that egg saying that D4 is much better as far as cleanliness compared to D1. Good up,
job.
guys.
Good job, everyone.
D4 is the new D1. Orange is the
Yeah.
new black.
Air back on the charge, trying to come back from that collision that was caused earlier. Same with the they're still together. Matt coming down again here to the final chicane, taking a lot more curb than speed on the exit. We'll just hold. Ruzik's actually diving on the inside of Astas. Matt is able to get the move done. Went really deep. Matt coming back. Not going to have enough speed. Ruzik will just hold this position and try to catch speed. We'll stay in that slipstream, though. It's a clean overtake, but Matt is coming back, poking the nose out down in turn 1, deciding not to go for it. We'll just slot right back in and let Ruzik have the position for the time being. As now Sadat is going side by side with Fade, is able to get the move done, opens the doorway for Air right behind. It's all balls in his court now. Your former top 2 runners trying to make way back up in the field.
I don't know if you caught that there in the picture-in-picture. There was about 10 cars just bumper to bumper coming down the main straight.
Just Suzuka things. That will now be approaching the 2 Ghost Riders ahead of them. Dude, really close on Smith. Smith really close on Skuza. Skuza really close on Matt. Matt extremely close on Ruzik. Skuza trying to get past Matt. Not going to be able to do so. As the Aston Martin driver does a very good job at fending off, but that car will come back, especially if it's in the slipstream.
Okay.
Both of them in Aston. But luckily for Matt, Ruzik is punching a hole for himself.
They lose one. In the chat, we got Twiggy saying Xfinity did him dirty. Had a bunch of pings, so he quit. After the
We've had
chat
our
for him.
first death.
Pit window is now open. Leave Austin Sawyer to the people who pit as we try to keep the action on track. Coming down to the pit stretch. No one deciding to take that pit early in the front, at least. Speed happily holding this race. Dooch going on the defense behind Sadat, going on the outside. We'll just overtake here. Dooch's going to let them by. Let the gold by. Fair enough.
We got Sarver with some damage headed in.
I think that's one thing we didn't talk about with the pit window being the 40-minute pit window, and since it opens at the 10-minute mark. If you get into an accident and have damage, as long as you can survive those 10 minutes, get some repairs, your pit stop's done, and you're on your way.
It also opens up that opportunity too. If you do get damage within that 40-minute pit window, all you got to do is drive it back to the pits, fix that damage, and your pit stop's clear at the same time.
Kind of a win-win.
It is.
Definitely.
Well.
And we got
It's better than
5 or
less.
6.
Yeah.
5 or 6 in here.
5 or 6 in the pits. Who are they?
Yeah. Run it down. We got Space Baker, Sarver. Oh my God, there's too many. Shackleford. There's so many homes. Everyone's using it.
Taking
Sarver repaired his
advantage,
damage. Good for him.
taking advantage
We'll
of
have
the
fun.
early pit window. See how that turns out. Keep those drivers in mind. See where they end up coming out, because they did all come out together, but most of them do have clean air in front. So see how that works. This dude's just kind of falling off the pace to Sadat in front of them. Opening the door for Fade for an overtake. Not going to be able to get it done, though, as we still have quite a lot of battles on track here. Wants a 5-person train for P1. Suzuka dropping off of Matt. Make Matt breathe a little bit, maybe give him some confidence to dive on Ruzik here at one point. They are all within 3/10 of each other. 1, 2, and 3. All different cars too. McLaren,
Yeah.
Ferrari, Aston. Didn't think you'd see a McLaren in front with how long these straights are. Ruzik trying to catch right back up with that engine power. Matt all over the back of Ruzik. Is able to just power through that straight, but not enough to get past him. Ruzik all over the back of Speed now through these S's. This is where Speed should make up all that time back. Ruzik.
Carbo goes off a little bit, but he's okay. Loses a little time.
Davis is in trouble. Hit a moment. Limp into the pit lane. Thank goodness for that new window.
Luckily, his pit stop will be cleared. Your leaders 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all together within about 2 seconds from first to fifth.
And Anastasi actually did snatch the fastest lap through all of that somehow last lap.
He was all over the back of Ruzik. As we look in the back, Smith going to try to go on the inside of Suzuka, but not going to be able to get it done. Suzuka just going to be able to power through that McLaren. Smith going to have to fight their way back. Hopefully to capitalize on another mistake going deep.
It is wild to see this 5-way battle for first. Last season, it was always 1 or 2 cars that were just so far clear.
It seemed like a very hot lappy season last season, where as the racing is so close now, we're able to have these battles. Speaking of battles, Johnny Air coming down the 130R, going to make it too wide with Fade, pulls out, takes him out a little bit, makes Fade go right on line actually. Loses a second and a half worth of time by pulling out.
Not ideal.
Gonna have to gain all of that back. Trying to get back to the front after having a little incident with Sadat. Sadat now grabbing fastest lap of 2:02.4. Top 3. Continuing battle. Some people putting the tires in the grass. Ruzik going on the inside in the S's. Side by side they go. Ruzik on the outside trying to hold the speed. Not going to be able to do so. Leaves Speed. Speed closing the door on Ruzik. Ruzik will just have to slot right back in. Opens the door for Matt. There is collision. Matt into the wall. Ruzik is off to the races as one down out of the top 5. And you hate to see it end like that.
Tough place to go side by side, so.
Yes. Ruzik did put themselves in a little bit of an uncomfortable situation there. Going side by side with Speed through the S's. I mean, if they felt like it was the time to do so, it is completely legal, but it did leave the door open for Matt to come back on the inside. And whether there was enough room left for one or the other, that's up to the stewards and not us. That is not my job to be said.
No, sir. We're just here to let everybody know what's going on.
Yep. And what's going on is Fade is coming up on the back of Carba. And looks like the blue flags are already playing effect. Blue flag of Sarver here in front of Kaba. If you don't know our blue flag rule, that blue flag has 1 lap fully to get out of the way of the leading car. And getting out of the way, doing here on the front stretch for both Fade and Kaba, both going to be taking the slipstream. Move gonna be done. Sarver actually slides in front of Fade here. And Fade just didn't have the power in that Porsche to catch up, so gap kind of fizzles out as Air is now back on the hunt, trying to find Molly.
We got some love for Brown Spacebaker in the chat. Spacebaker pitted early, and now he's got a bunch of clean air to make some damage.
Oh, heck yeah.
Hot laps. There's a lot of gaps in the back. None of the gaps fizzled out. And
Toit.
that's everyone from looks to be P1 to about somewhere mid P20s. Still has a pit stop left. This race is still to be played for anyone's game right now. Ruzic closing the gap between them and Speed. 0.4 seconds is your gap.
Anastasi to the pits. Might as well get it done. Find some clean air.
Probably got some damage to fix too, so.
Yep. Yeah, he's been sitting for a bit.
Definitely some front left damage after going to that wall. Speed gets a bad exit out of Spoon, leaving the door open wide for Ruzic, who had to alter their line. But they should have the power over that McLaren. They will go side by side through 130R. Ruzic just going to slot right back in. Maybe think of something down to the chicane. Is going to go around the outside. Speed taking the defensive line here. Was go a little too deep. Ruzic going to try to switch him back onto the main straight. Speed is off into the pits.
Oh.
Yeah, Anastasi had a minute. Sat stopped.
Wow.
Some damage. It's clean now. Bunch of air. Let's get it.
The leader now, Ruzic, after a pit stop from Speed.
A very early pit stop from the front leader.
Indeed, as Air is now going side by side with Molly through turn 1. Molly has the inside here. There is almost collision. Air and Molly holding it side by side, extremely close. Molly is going to be able to hold this one all the way through. Air burning his tires in the back, still holding the inside line here, going through the S's now. Molly, inside line. Air not able to keep up. We'll just have to slot right back in. Actually opens the door for Dalkenforth behind them. Got Smith now closing the door to Suzuka for P2 right now. I have a feeling that everyone's about to pit here soon because they're probably burning their tires, trying to get their fastest laps in before they go into the pits here. Smith has to be hard on the brakes for the car in front of him. This McLaren trying to get all that aero, but all that slipstream all at the same time. That Aston Martin engine will outpower that McLaren engine any day of the week.
Up Saturday, I heard.
Up Saturday.
It's a rumor. I don't know. It's just what I heard.
The Breeze making an overtake on Saudre in the hairpin. Missed that one as now Scott Smith and Suzuka side by side through Spoon. Suzuka must have had a little miss up. Gonna slot right back in behind instead of going side by side through 130R. Smith will hold on to P3 and Suzuka will hold on P2 for a time being. Yeah, a lot of that curb on the inside. Wow. Smith coming along the outside. Suzuka here into the final chicane. Not going to do anything with it. We'll just slot right back in. Tried to hold off Sadat behind him. Now they play the waiting game. I see our first non-mandatory pit stop have in person is entered our leaderboard on the top, on the left side over here. Speed, your provisional leader, if everyone has the same time pit stop and the same time going around. Should regain the lead, but you never know with how fast Ruzic was going. He was all over the back of Speed going into the pits. Austin, what have you been seeing on track that we might have been missing?
Watching G-Test climb. He's right behind Speed, I believe, as your P2 after pits. You guys already know he started from the pits. Doing a great job.
Suzuka had a very bad exit out of that right-hander and is actually going to concede the position to Smith
Oh, there's a
in
car
the
on the
hairpin.
wall. There's a car on the wall.
Who was that? In the wall.
It's Cameron. I don't know what happened, but it just kind of came up on him. I missed it. I didn't go back far enough.
Let's have a little spin or something. Either way, not ending well for them.
Mm-mm.
Is ending well for Smith, who was able to make that overtake done, but now needs to defend off into 130R. Suzuka going really wide out of Spoon. Actually, probably going to get track limits there. Yeah, indeed will. Not necessarily sure if it's a track warning, but Smith just trying to hold off all of these cars behind him because there is a train.
We've also got a big train all the way from P14 to P20, led by Ken Miller, who looks to have some front end damage. Don't know if that's slowing up everybody behind him, but Speed is at the end of this train, so he's being held up right now. Who was the provisional leader of the race before he pit?
Not good signs for them, and that's
No.
one of the strategies we were talking about, where when you pit and you come out, you need to make sure you're coming out in good clean air and make sure you're not going to catch anyone. Looks like he caught up. Very unfortunate.
And Shepard is actually going down the inside of Boonstra into the last chicane. Oh, they touch a little bit. Somebody hit the orange board there. As Shepard has the better exit on Boonstra. And Formigal is actually now looking to get involved as well, with Donahue right behind him.
It looks like everyone just slotting in that one. Few noses poked out, nothing happening there though. As Smith now opening up that gap thanks to a blue flag behind, whoever that is, finally lends Sadat through. Suzuka actually dropping multiple positions. Unsure of what happened there, but we did have it on your screen. Shackerfold is the blue flag in question, having to let Suzuka Sadat by. Kind of broke up that train that happened, but now we have a three-way train between Sadat, Zuch, and Suzuka. Smith able to break free. I'm sure Ruzic doesn't mind leading the race till pit window closes with all that clean air in front of him.
And it's really helping that Speed is stuck behind this massive train.
Everyone's still having their mandatory pit stop here. Interested on when they are considered taking it, as Sadat, after that, Suzuka is having some issues of their own trying to get it in. Not sure if there's damage on that car, but they seem to be going wide on every other turn. Gaps kind of fizzle out now. We are at that mid portion of the race where we'll see people get that clean air, stick with it for a little bit. Once those pits come in, we should see everything kind of jumble up a little bit more. As Dock and Fold. First week.
You got this. You got this. Oh, and Formigal. Formigal spins into 130R.
Not my boy.
Not the boy, Formigal. Didn't lose too much. He lost, I think, 2 positions, so not too serious. As we get back onto this battle.
Just some talent damage there.
Oh no! I just thought what happened.
Uh-oh.
He just had fastest lap, and then he like lost power or something. Is he had to?
Out of fuel?
No, he's going. I don't know what happened. Cat. I don't know. Dog. Wife.
Oh, Taylor knows all about the cat
Husband.
problem.
I don't know what happened.
The cat problem is real. What else we got going on? I think I saw a little flash on my race control thing. What happened, Austin?
Oh, what just happened? Anastasi was just putting some gaps to Ruzic right in front of him, with a bunch of clean air, and then just came out of that double right-hander straight before the hairpin, and just kind of like lost power.
I'm gonna have to cut you off there because Zuch and Sadat are side by side through Spoon coming out down in the 130R. Sadat all over the back of Zuch right now. Might be looking to go side by side in the 130R. Just gonna stay behind, wiggling, trying to peek out the nose real quick. Not gonna be able to get it done. Trying to defend off into the chicane. Will be able to do so. Late on the brakes is Zuch. But she will hold this position for the time being. Big mistake by Sadat in Spoon. And I was trying to hint at you that Dockendorf has a drive-through penalty.
Missed that.
Presumably for speeding in pits. But
I hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
They about to go around. Sadat missing their braking point, going wide in the turn 1, opening the door for Suzuka now. That P4. Zuch is going to be off to the races, your provisional leader for the silver division right now. There's a close in on Sadat. Sadat needs to take a deep breath and start focusing on these apexes and less on the times he is putting down. He has been missing some braking points lately. Car has been looking a little bit unstable.
It does kind of give Zuch a break, though, as she was being hounded by Sadat.
Does get a bit of a breather, but not too much of a breather because she's closing the gap to Smith now, I believe. Same conglomerate, 2 different teams. We'll see what happens.
Ooh. One silver. She is silver, so we'll see what the move is.
She has been respecting the golds a little bit. I think last time Sadat came up on her, she just let him by, but this time it was a no-go. But see what happens as she will close that gap, or certainly in versus the McLaren, especially in the straights.
And just quickly speaking on the silver-gold situation, as you can see, there's a pretty good mix-up of each split here, all the way through the top 25.
There's yellows all over the board. Ken Miller is a part of it. Let's get back. See what happened here. Oh, Shepard just missing his braking point just by a little bit. Spinning out Miller, and Miller looks to be doing donuts, trying to get the car around. Might have contacted Boonstra as well.
Oh, that's a flag.
What happened in the picture-in-picture?
It's just, it looked like Matassi kind of took too much curb going into the first section of Spoon and spun the rear end of his car and got back going. So I think he's okay. No damage.
Suzuka has had enough time battling with Sadat inside the pit, along with air. Battle in front has fizzled out. Now we are on hot lapping spree as speed is within a 3/10 of Donahue.
Yep.
Got it. Let's go. First try.
You're like 1 for 16. Not bad.
Yeah, no, as Donahue actually going really wide. Gonna try to give the speed the position here, and will do so through the S's speed. Free position for them as Donahue will now be all over the back of speed in that Porsche. Kind of opens the door for Boonstra if they can get up here. Not letting speed go by any means. Once that position back for the mistakes that happened. Not going to be able to do it here. Might look for something in the hairpin, but they are bleeding time away here as that McLaren's downforce is absolutely insane through this high speed, and that poor exit won't help at all either, opening the door for Boonstra to get up in here. Not going to capitalize too much on that. We'll keep a close eye on that battle though, as Dockendorf is closing the gap between them and Santer.
So doing some math.
Okay.
If speed keeps up same pace, maybe gains a little bit, we're about 8 seconds away from P1 if Ruzic has a perfect.
As if that's a perfect. We don't know if Ruzic took half fuel, full fuel. He could change tires.
No.
I doubt he will, but as Dockendorf looks down on the inside, not going to be able to get the move done. Santer will hold off this position for the time being. Santer is now closing the gap to Formagau in front of them. Dockendorf looking down on the inside of Spoon, not going to be able to do it. Not enough speed, not enough late brakes. Santer carrying on about their day. I would be a little scared if I was Santer seeing that in my rear view, but closes the door just enough as Boonstra and Donahue into the pits. take pressure off one another. Go into the pits, have a little breather, you know, a little snack, get a drink of water real quick, then back to fighting right away.
A lot of these gaps have started to fizzle out, so we got a select few battles here. A couple more people coming in the pits here.
The Santer Formigal battle is about to kick off. Same with the Space Baker and Molly battle that will be kicked. Well, they close the gaps. And keeping a close eye on the front, see who pits, but the front has stayed the same. Ruzik, Smith, Zuch, Sadat right now, and Karba. Speed to join them at some point once all their pits go. Flags also getting into the mix here. Formigal is off the track in the gravel. Saints are going to be able to make it past. So is Dockendorf. That is a big loss for Formigal, but opens the door for Dockendorf here to overtake Santer now.
And Donahue actually came out of the pits into this battle with Ken Miller and G-Tesh. G-Tesh actually almost turned in onto Donahue, causing them to almost have a nasty turn one accident as G-Tesh goes off in a dangerous places. It's very bumpy, and luckily just gets it back on track, but he does lose the position to Donahue.
While all that was happening, Santer had a terrible exit coming up to the hairpin and gave the position to Dockendorf, and Dockendorf on their way.
It's going to be interesting because Anastasi just unlapped themselves by passing Ruzik, and they're coming up on a bunch of back markers. So that might be a play for speed.
It definitely will most likely be. Smith now closing the gap to Ruzik as well, is within 8/10 now. Space Baker on the back of Molly. Will they try something down into turn one? They do have the slipstream here. Will outpower that. McLaren pokes their nose out, goes right back in, not going to do anything. So we'll just slot in for the S's. Scusa now behind P. We'll just slot in as well. Nothing will happen there. We'll keep a close eye on that. Smith trying to close the gap to Ruzik as Ruzik is...
Tibbetts and Holmes side by side into 130R. And Holmes does not come out the winner. I'll tell you that right now. He's back there in the wall.
Oh, he is. That is major damage. That is a pit stop for them.
Yeah. Holmes just turned in on Tibbetts, so nothing Tibbetts could really do.
His engineers are getting out the icing to put his car back together.
Correcto.
He's got these lined up.
Ruzik has pit giving the lead to Smith now. So we'll see where Ruzik comes out here in regards to speed. Smith staying out again. Taking the risk to catch these blue flags here, which isn't always the best thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Smith decides to go into the pit literally next lap. We'll leave watching Ruzik up to Alston, our legendary third man.
Watching your pit. Don't mess up your pits. It matters. Such a tight grid. It matters.
Speed is coming up. That gap is closing very fast. Well,
oh, looks a little long.
Smith clearing one blue flag.
Woo! Ooh,
looks like Speed is going to get it.
Yeah, called it.
Speed will pass Ruzik here. Ruzik wasn't fast enough to hold gap it, so the undercut works for Speed.
Ken Miller just went into the back of Donahue going into the hairpin. Not what you like to see. This,
Speaking
Scott Smith is approaching this.
Get out of my way. I'm in a battle for first right now. He wants them to move her. Now Zuch has a yellow flag. They're off into the gravel.
Oh no.
Running so good. What happened?
Too much bendy brew.
Too much bendy brew. Oh, catching that grass.
That nasty curb.
Yeah. That's a hefty amount of damage serving to the pits now. Hate to see it. Boonstra going by, waving side by side. Smith wanting the two blue flags in front of him that are battling to get out of his way. Donahue will respect that. Ken Miller not look likely to, it seems like. As there's contact between Smith and Donahue. Donahue turning a little too early, messing up Smith's line. There's contact in the back. Donahue and Matt as well. Everything kind of sorts itself out. Smith going around another time. He is bleeding time because of this. That lap was about 2 seconds slower than it probably should have been.
Anastasi, I don't know if he was trying to overtake Donahue as well, or he was trying to unlap himself from Smith, but he had a very risky dive down the inside there.
I will say, if he does try to unlap himself from Smith, I don't think he will be holding that position, as there is a Ken Miller in front of Smith currently. So Anastasi is going to have to hold it for the time being until Smith can get past Ken. And does not seem too bright on letting Smith pass at this very moment, knowing that he could potentially lose a position right behind him. But time is bleeding for Smith here.
It's all playing in the hands of Speed, who got stuck behind
dude,
that.
I'm watching him. I kind of like where he's at right now.
Miller,
ironically,
Matt is going side by side.
R628.
Matt is able to hold that position off, is able to get the overtake done. Sad that Ken had to give it up. Had to be done.
What I was gonna say was Ken Miller was actually, ironically, the leader of the pack that Speed got stuck behind, as Scott Smith actually got affected by Ken Miller as well.
It all comes full circle.
It does.
Because that is a massive train behind Scott Smith. Blue flags mixed in there for sure. Sadat's in there, so there's definitely blue flag territory there. Where's Speed at on the track? Just exiting the hairpin. Smith pits now. There's a chance if he can get it real quick, but there's a ton of clean air in front of him. So
He's 45 seconds down. The fastest pit we've seen is 38-second total time.
I have to see what happens
Close.
this pit. Blue flags behind Smith. Particularly Matt. Really probably want to get by him. Lorenzo is now closing the gap to Formigal, about 6/10 currently. So leukemia ribbon on the car. Line racing, driving for a call.
Good for them. Good on them. Good on them. Great team.
Air is now pushing P in the back, coming out of the spoon. Bad exit for P, as Air is closing this gap rapidly. Sticking their nose out down into 130R. Do they choose to go for a move? Not deciding to do so. We'll lose a bit of time here doing that. Was going to try to make it all back up into this first chicane. Not going to be able to do a ton. That is a bad middle part for P. Air going to get the better exit here. A little squirrely on the exit is P. Air will have the run down to the front stretch, turn one. P taking defensive line. Air going to stick on the outside, going side by side into turn one. Who's going to come out? P still has the inside. We'll keep all of that space. Air gives the position to P for the time being, as Malley and Spacebaker trade positions and the gap is still closing.
Hey, go watch your own battles.
I just look at my race control. I see the gaps. I see errors that happen. You know, I call what I see.
If gap car.
As I believe I saw Fade hit there while all that was happening.
Yeah, there was Fade and somebody else who was right behind him pit as well.
Fade got overtaken by Speed by about 10 seconds, as Smith and Sadat are in the pits together. Austin, watch them.
Oh, we watching. I'm watching
Hunt them
Speed.
down.
We've been on him.
Speed, it's now Speed's time to close that gap. Speed has all this clean air.
We'll watch him down in the pip.
All coming down the 130R right now.
Oh, sending it.
Kind
Kind of a long pit stop from Smith.
Yeah, not sure what's happening there. Is on the move though. Hasn't exited the chicane yet. Speed just now exiting it. Is going to have this rundown. I think Smith does hold this position if they can exit
Him and
just
Sadat,
fast enough.
yeah. I think Speed comes out third after all of this.
The Smith will be out of the pits here, right in front of Speed. Sadat in front of Speed as well. Unfortunate that that blue flag
Almost.
train is not enough to slow down Smith. And your provisional leader will be not Smith because they have a stop go 30.
Oh no!
No.
What happened? Unfortunate sequence of events. I know he has the hand up in frustration right now. He was on for a race win today.
He was. I agree.
Now we look at the battle between Speed and Sadat. Two S's going at each other.
And Era's still pushing P.
Pushing P.
Yeah, I mean, I've been an eye on that gap a little bit. Waiting to see what would happen. So if we just go into our, normally we check this after, and we probably still will. Our biggest gainers and losers right now, and of course our biggest gainers will most likely be the people who haven't pit yet, such as the Breeze. Up front, leading, hasn't pit yet, gained 18 positions, but if we take away that, probably come down a little bit. So Sadre will be your top position. Tied with Foreman Gal. Enter on the charge for that as well. And Matt Anastasi down 21 positions from when they started.
That's
Fastest lap though.
it's true. Winner.
Yeah.
Right there. You win.
Yep.
Breeze
think
into
so.
the pits. Scott Smith into the pits, going to serve their penalty. Speed going, trying to get his nose out next to Sadat. Sadat closing that door in turn 1. We'll hold that P1 position for the time being. Actually, wait, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Who snuck through? Arba.
Harbo did.
Bro snuck through, now leading the race. Didn't even realize.
I didn't either.
We've been bamboozled.
We have been. I thought there was going to be a big fight for P1. Carbon, not having it.
Bo.
Carbo, not having it.
He had a banger of a pit stop. Fastest one. See?
Dang.
Pit diff.
Bit
Practice 'em.
different. It makes a difference.
It diff strategy as something happened between Sadat and Speed because their gap has grown to a 1.5 seconds now. Yeah. I'm sure Speed will close that gap relatively soon as Suzuka is closing the gap on Molly. Hester in the chat playing more of the Shake It Off. I believe that is Zooch.
Yep,
Not mistaken.
that is correct.
Zooch
Very
on the
well done.
comeback, P14 right now. Was leading the silver division before her accident. Will unfortunately not get to talk to her unless we really want to.
He still is 6th in the silver division as we speak.
Yeah, it's not a bad finish for the
No, it's
division.
not.
She is second fastest lap.
Mm-hmm. So she's flying. She still has 14 minutes to go in the race. So all to play for still. In first place, the gap is closing from Carbo to Sadat. On as Speed and Sadat don't fight, that gap may close by the end of the race. Suzuka really struggling to hold the car within track limits here. Air still in the back of P. I mean, everything he
still?
can do.
Remember that gap you were talking about from Speed to Sadat?
I believe I did.
It was at point 4 a couple turns ago, and it's back up to 1 second.
Not sure what's happening. There's a few corners that seems like Speed can't take. That's Sadat can. As Zooch overtaking Fonseca or P13 down the turn 1. He's still back on the charge, all the play for it, but an 8-second gap to P12, who is Air, but Air is being held up by P right now. So she can still come back for this, try to gain as much as she can.
We're about to have a 5-way battle here for P17 with Santer, Lorenzo, Shepard, Brown, and Smith after his stop-go 30.
Tackle forward, exit a spoon. Doing donuts in the sand.
Oh, the race isn't over yet, Shackleford.
Oh yeah, the window isn't even closed yet.
Mind-blowing.
We'll have 2 minutes, but I believe everyone took their pit, so...
Holmes? Missing? Blind?
Holmes?
Still scroll. I think they still have to pit. It's showing up on my screen.
Holmes does still have to pit. You're correct.
Yeah.
As Smith overtaking Brown, the S's, in that battle that you were talking about. Smith suffering the stop-go 30 pain right now. As a battle for P8 is now brewing between Spacebaker, Molly, and Suzuka. And if they keep battling for long, P and Air might join the fight as well.
However, just overtakes Giteshko and off on the off-camber, I believe it's turn 7. Gonna have to refresh my memory. I can't remember the S's.
We remember way back, Spacebaker had that really early pit.
Indeed.
with a bunch of free air, so obviously worked out for him.
It did. He's up 8 positions currently. But the real winner in all of this still is SRA. 17. Actually, I lied. Formigal. 18 positions. As Suzuka's going side by side with Molly through the S's, unconventional up the uphill left, is going to get that move done. Good move from Suzuka, as we were just talking about statistics over here. Missed a little battle.
We do need to talk about it. Is that gap from Sadat to Carbo is not going down at all.
It is not. Carbo might be looking for their, I believe, first race win here in SRA.
I believe you are correct.
That name. Taking the first one of the season. Hopefully more to come, unless, you know.
They are teammates, by the way. They are teammates. Speed and Carbo.
So, pit window is closed, by the way. So if Holmes did not make it into the pits, they will suffer the wrath. Holmes did not make it into the pits, so they will suffer the wrath.
130-second time penalty. That is unfortunate.
Very unfortunate as Air approaching P again down into 130R. Not get past this car at all. Into the final chicane, trying to be late on the brakes. Door closes from P, so Air has to go right back to the drawing board, try to get by him. Maybe down into turn 1. Does have a little bit of a better exit than P at this very moment. And they get enough slipstream though to try something down the turn 1 as we approach it very fast. Sticking their nose out, looking for the dive. Not going to be able to do so. We'll just throw right back in. Losing some time. Safe and Suzuka is now closing the gap to Spacebaker now. How's that 5-way train down there?
It's going. Not. It's Scott Smith slowly getting his way through it. Surprisingly,
Suzuka's going side by side with Spacebaker in the uphill left at the end of the S's to the right. Spacebaker gonna be able to overtake. Oh. So much happening all at once. Watching your picture-in-picture the replay of this on board. Little tap.
Little taps are devastating in this game, though. So.
Do a lot to Spacebaker, able to hold off Suzuka through the end of the S's, and fast right-handers. Let me tell you, all this battling is opening the door for Zuch. They try to get back to at least within the top 10. And even better, try to overtake Air right in front of her fellow Silver Division.
Snagged the fastest lap, you guys see that?
I do see the fastest lap for Zuch.
Oh yeah,
She just snagged it. Yeah.
1.9.
she's
Wow.
picking it up.
Flying.
Is going in that Aston. The Suzuka is going on. Space Baker on the inside into the final chicane. Space Baker is missing the breaking point completely.
Where'd he go?
Flying by Houdini. So did Molly. Molly's coming back on track. Space Baker surely has to give all that time back. Well, looks like give the position to Suzuka here down on the front stretch. Good sportsmanship from all of them as they're about to go 3 wide. Back there, P holding off the position. The Air to Molly all threading in behind. This is now turning into a 5-way battle for P8. Could turn into a 6 depending on how hard they battle, because Zuch rapidly approaching right now. Hey, this battle fizzles off. Air still stuck behind P. He making that card as wide as possible. Not able to get Air to pass. Molly trying to join back into the fight. Space Baker has lost Suzuka a little bit. See if they can pull that back in. As Air is taking a dive on P. There is collision. Both of them losing control, spinning. Molly able to split the defense going in between. This opens the door wide open for Zuch. Is able to pass Air, their division rival. And we'll get right by him as P looks forward to Molly. Unfortunate collision between the two cars, losing out Air more than P, but still not what you want to see. We cannot say anything on that because we are not stewards. But that was risky.
It's live stewards.
Live
Huh?
stewards. I need a Stewart's live stream, watching them go over every instant.
Sounds awful.
That would probably be about 6 hours long.
Who would win? Driver's briefing. I think Speed might be able to do it.
Speed is all over the back of Sadat. Carbo is looking to take away this win here today at Suzuka.
The P12 for G-Metric Racing.
That is big
If
for
Speed
Team
can do it
Standard.
done.
E now closing the gap on Molly. And all this fighting has brought Zuch back into play here. Battling for top 10. There's a yellow flag on Carbo. They are off in the sand doing donuts. And so that and Speed will go right by.
And G-Tesh was also off there.
Oh. Vitesh causing that collision for Carbo. Fortunate set of circumstances. That team will now be a 2-3 currently.
Sorry.
Zuch approaching the back of this battle between P and Molly as well. There's a battle for the one in the front. All kicking off. 4 minutes left in the race, so if there's any move to do it, now's the time. You have about 3 laps left to do so, I believe.
If Speed's got anything left, now's the time.
I'm pushing. Need that race win. Whoever
May not
we're
get this opportunity again.
out of this top 3, whoever we're talking through, this I believe will be their first win in SRA overall completely. Unless they all 3 take each other out, then we'll all be pointing fingers at each other. Zuch getting a better exit than both of the cars, but ends up having to readjust the sheer amount of speed that Bendy Brew Ghost Rider is taking.
Love it.
30R. Anyone going to be ballsy enough to make a dive? Zuch on the outside. Someone's on the inside. P trying to hold the defensive line. Going deep. Not going to be able to to get that overtake done, but will defend against Zooch rather nicely. P all over the back of Molly now. Really wants to get by, feeling the heat from Zooch. Zooch plowing down the main straight right now. Everyone's all in a line. Zooch down to the inside. 3 wide right now. P gonna be able to overtake. There is contact between Molly and Zooch. Zooch going through. Gonna try to take over P as well, and the S is not gonna be able to do so. We'll just slot in. Molly gonna be left behind. Zooch gaining position. P gaining position. Molly losing out too.
And Speed has had a little bit of inconsistency
yeah.
in this lap. He's dropped down to a 2.5 seconds.
Just to see if he'll let his teammate go by, see if they can get to that way. As Zooch still all over the back of P right now. Broly wants to get by here. 2 minutes left in the race. P's having a bad exit out of that turn. Zooch going side by side up into the hairpin. P will just go let her go through. Zooch will overtake, has a top 10 now. Good racing by her by the end of it. Gonna let Molly and P battle it out. She tries to speed away for P9. Space Baker about 5 seconds away. Tall order to ask for 1 minute 30 seconds left, but she does have a top 10 how it stands right now. Molly going extremely wide out the back. Gonna give that position to Air. And the final lap has started for the leaders. Sadat has started their final lap. It's Air still overtaking Molly. Space Baker trying to catch up to Sadre, but doesn't look to be doing much.
What a roller coaster.
Then a wild final few laps as Ruzik's in the wall now. Yellow thrown up. See what happens there. I don't think I'll lose any positions here. It was relatively quick. Just caught a little too much grass. That is quite a lot of damage there. See what happens. That battle for P10 fizzled out. Space Baker 5/10 in front of your picture-in-picture. You can see Carbo on Speed. Their two teammates 4/10 apart.
Probably just going to play it safe at this point, as Waleed is out of, looks like to be touching distance, as there is only a couple corners left. Although there are some of the hardest corners on this track, so hopefully Waleed can bring it home.
Especially if you play it safe, they will definitely catch up here and punish you in the final chicane, to say the least.
Yep.
On board with Sadat, we'll watch them cross the line. Coming down through 130R, holding it tight, playing it safe. Not doing much, just keeping the gap. As Speed backs off a little bit.
That'll do it.
But that looks to be your race winner for race 1, round 1, season 5. Your first race winner, Sadat. Behind him, Speed, Carbo. Insane racing by everyone. Ruzik will hold the position after going to the wall, crossing the line in P4. Fade coming across P5. The Breeze, excellent. Comeback drive. P6. Good pitch strategy. Waiting till the very end. Will be crossing line P7. Sardre will be crossing P8. Space Baker P9 right behind him. Zooch P10. P11. Molly P12. Air P13. The real batters. Shepard on Formigal here, trying to make a last minute dive. Shepard on the outside. Formigal taking a defensive line. We'll be able to hold this position for the time being. Shepard needs a good launch out of here. Not going to be able to do so. Don't think it will be enough power down to the front line. Formigal will hold that position over Shepard. Battle in the back. Matt
Oh no.
Going side by side with Brown. I believe Brown just beat him out by a little bit.
And Miller, no. Did he run out of gas?
Did he?
I do not see a checkered flag for him. He pulled over after Spoon.
And
Oh
Miller,
no.
Oh,
he
my boy.
indeed, I believe he did run out of gas. He only has a P, no checkered. That is your final order. Fade taking the silver championship, silver division win. Sadat taking the gold win. What a race from everyone here. As drive to an end.
In the chat, any votes for driver of the day?
Yeah, any votes for driver today? Who we get like one extra person we can talk to.
Who
I
stood
mean,
out?
I almost said a bad word. What a comeback drive from Zuch though, to be honest.
For sure.
After getting punched down, did she have a good bit of damage going into the pits? So
Yeah.
good comeback drive to bring it into the top 10 at least. Let's see if we can get the dat in here. Where are we at? No one has joined the race chat. Sad days. The dat. Are you boys ready for our first interview of season 5?
I'm ready. That was a great race,
It was
to
a
be
really
honest.
good race. Pretty clean for the most part. A few incidents, of course, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull our
I'm lap
race
4.
winner, the dat.
And yeah, what's up?
Welcome to the
Oh,
championship
hey,
position.
I'm in a different chat room.
Yeah, you are. Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
There's a little interview. I don't know. Are you new here?
No, he's not.
He's not.
I'm not new to SRA. I'm new to the commentators box.
News to the comment. Well, welcome. You just won round 1, season 5. How's it feel?
That might have been the best race I think I've ever put together top to bottom. I made a couple mistakes, but managed to like keep it all together, put it in line, and got a little lucky towards the end.
About to say, look like Carbo kind of had you all in the end. Unfortunate set of events where Blue Flag kind of had an incident with
Him
each other.
and I don't know her first name, but Zuch was on me for probably 40 minutes, and then had an unfortunate contact with the grass. But wow, there's some fast people in D4. It's not D4 is fast.
Yes.
Yes, this all seems very close. I just wanted to get your take. We had a trialing the 40-minute pit window. Instant thoughts on it?
I liked it, but my strategy being towards the top of the pack after qualifying with the longer window is stretch it out as far as I can. That way, when I come out, there's no traffic, and I managed to just come out ahead of speed by probably a tenth or two. And that kind of set me up to maintain the lead for the rest of the race because he was kind of the fight I had for the last 7-8 laps. So avoiding the blue flags as much as I can was definitely the strat there.
Seemed like it did it well for you because we saw a speed pit early and got into a big train, knocked him back a few positions. Bailey, Austin, do you have any questions before I let him go?
Good race, man.
Very
Excellent
good race,
there.
yeah.
I can't wait to watch that one back. Just the chaos
Congrats on
come
the-
back.
Congrats on your first win.
Thank you. Hopefully get a couple more.
Should we win?
Should we?
So a shoey for me. How about this? I'll put it in general chat tomorrow because I actually I collect sneakers, so I'll let the community pick the shoey. Which one?
Ooh, we
I
got
think
a
that-
I think that could be
collector.
fun.
man.
Everyone
that
pay
could be
attention
fun.
to
This guy
the
another win.
I might hide a couple pairs of the real nice Jordans, but I'll set them out and we'll do a community thing. It'll be fun.
Well, I'll be looking at chat
Sweet.
all day tomorrow for that. Enjoy your win. Enjoy the night. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You guys too, man. Appreciate the stream.
Yep.
What a nice guy.
man.
I don't know if I dropped him
Top
into
lad.
the right chat or not, but I did it.
Yeah, that's him.
Keep going.
Keep going. Our silver race winner, Fade, right? Am I wrong about that one?
Oh, I think you're right. I don't
Is
remember actually.
Fade here.
Yeah, I see fade.
You
Yeah,
do?
fade is silver.
Very bottom.
Very bottom?
Race chat one.
Just first time stream. Fade. Give me fade. Fade, you were the first race of season 5 silver division win. How you feeling?
Oh shit, I'm on thing.
Welcome.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm new. I'm sweating so much. I'm so sweaty right now.
Well,
Love it.
congrats on your very first divisional win for silver. You came first overall in your silver division. So
Yeah, that's
you did it
awesome.
right.
That's awesome. I was just telling my group down there. I was like, when I started, I was so nervous. My Apple Watch was going off, saying there's something wrong with your heart. Your heart rate's too high. So
I've had that happen.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean, I know you're new here, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on. We don't normally run the 40-minute pit window. What are your thoughts on having it wide open like that? Do you like having the free choice when to go in?
Yeah, I do. I like the longer pit window, in case like you come up against back markers, you can dip into the pits and like maybe make some space. I think it's a good idea. Yeah, I much rather prefer that, I think maybe later it would be nice to make the decision to take tires or not. Like as it is now, like I think I could have took tires and maybe made at the time. I just don't know. It's a long time for tires, so.
It is. It's a big risk as well as it's an hour sounds like a long time, but it's in the grand scheme of things, an hour goes by quick in these races.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was great. I had a blast. The people up front were very respectful. It seemed like, but then we pulled away, so I don't really know what happened behind me. I haven't had a chance to look at the replay.
Well, go back, watch that replay. We'll stop keeping you from your replay review. Have fun, enjoy your first win, and hope to see more from you.
All right, thanks guys. Appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. Take care.
Nice guy.
Great guy. Very funny reaction.
Get him back. Get him back.
Hey,
Bring him back. Surprise him.
no, I can't do that. New to the league, wins first race, easy peasy. That's how we do
Very
it.
good. Very good.
Is there
2
anyone-
first race winners today.
I know, that's
That's all I
kind of
mentioned.
insane. Is there someone else we want to pick up? Anyone we're thinking?
Just
See if
looking in
Mara's up for it.
See who?
Undisputed driver of the day.
undisputed.
Who? I didn't hear you. Who?
Zooch, Mara Zooch.
Who?
On a rampage, back
I-
up the field.
I can.
Great recovery drive.
I will grab her respectfully right now.
She may want to talk to us.
Zooch, Moira Zooch, welcome to the commentators booth. I know you didn't have the best results that you thought you would have today, but amazing comeback drive. Wanted to ask how you did it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I practiced like 2 hours before the start today. I learned Suzuka this week. This is my first time racing on it, so I was really surprised to be getting up to like 201s, and even 202s. Like, honestly, credit to Ghost Rider Racing. They had some setups. They helped out a lot there, but yeah, I just used what experience I got and just kind of threw it down there.
We did a great job at it, and thanks for shouting out of course our conglomerate Ghost Rider Racing joined today. But yeah, you look to be on for a divisional win at least. What all happened? I mean, we saw you touch a little piece of grass. Was it enough just to kind of send you into a spiral?
Yeah, in that right hand section, it's just a little dip right before the curb. I hit that, and that was enough to put me in the wall. But it was like 15 seconds of damage by the time I got to the pits. So,
well, hope
it was
that
a
doesn't
no-brainer.
happen. Hope that doesn't happen again next week, and we can bring you in for a race win interview instead of a comeback drive interview.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
And you leave with the fastest lap.
That is true.
Oh wow, really?
Yep. Congratulations on that.
Extra point. Good job.
Extra point.
Woo! Thank you.
So have fun. Enjoy the night. Go over that race review.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, I'd call that a successful first stream of season 5. No,
I agree. It's great to be back, especially with my boy Austin Sawyer.
of course.
we
And we
back
of
at
course
it.
we had to show off in suits and ties. Someone didn't get the memo.
Yep. Well, that's it, everybody.
I thought that was his best attire.
Oh gosh, the best you're gonna get from me.
That's water in his hand. That's not a questionable.
Yeah, I don't drink. I mean, I'm hydrated.
Yeah. We're hydrated.
Yep, stay hydrated.
But if you enjoyed the racing you saw here today, want to be a part of it, head on over to simracingalliance.com. Join the squad, join the Discord. We're all a nice batch of people, very active here. Definitely can improve your racing in the largest NA ACC league. But for now, until next week, I'm Taylor. This is Bailey and Austin. See you later.
So you.
Bye.